Welcome back to Whilton Mill, where next out on track it's the ever popular Junior Rotax class. And earlier on, I caught up with Henry Beaumont, who'll be driving his Tony Kart numbered 16 for Liam Wright Racing, to see what he's thinking ahead of the weekend and why he enjoys the class so much. So Henry, great to see you here racing this weekend. Tell us a little bit about Junior Rotax. What was it about Junior Rotax that you decided that was the class you were going to race in?
It seems like quite a competitive grid here. There's a good mix of drivers between like really good drivers and some like midfield drivers, and also you need a good like skill to drive in Rotax. Rotaxes have a bit more power than the X30s, but the X30s are a bit grippier.
And so as we stand here at Whilton Mill, what are some of the things that you have to think about when racing your car at Whilton Mill? What's the key to doing well around this circuit?
You have to be really like smooth to really get the most out of the karts. The Rotax is definitely bogged down a lot more than X30s. That's why you need to be really smooth on the power to stop it bogging down.
And just tell us a little about your journey into karting. How did you get into karting? How old were you when you started, and what did you do before this?
I can't exactly remember how old I was, but I was in Norfolk and my dad took me to this like local kart track that was there. Seemed to like it, so I went to my local kart track quite a lot. I then stepped up to these like proper karts.
Now I understand as well, Henry, that when you're not karting and you're at home, you've actually got a simulator to practice on. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to keep the skills up when I'm not karting, and also great fun to like play with my friends.
And what are some of the circuits? Can you actually choose circuits that we would know on your simulator?
Well, I've got kart sim, so pretty much all the UKC tracks are on there, apart from one which I'm pretty sure is Warden Law.
It's our opening round of the UKC this weekend. What would be a good result for you? What are you hoping for come Sunday night?
My aim is top 15, but something like top 10 would be really nice.
All right, well, Henry, best of luck for that and hope you go well.
Okay.
Well, let's see how Henry gets on then in the very first Junior Rotax Final of the season. Here's Jake Sanson with the rundown on the grid. So, Jake, where did he qualify?
Well, he's made it to the A final, which is very impressive indeed in a field of 50. Dan Ginchard and Harry Linden from Neo Clark and Stephen Duncan, Hart and Usakov, Smith and Bradbury, and then Ben Foland and Joe Garraway rounding out the top 10. From Gallagher and Sharman, Jackson McKay, then Pullen, Taylor and the rest. 20th is Beaumont, Fairbrother is there in 21st. Keep an eye on Dan Parent-Smith in 24th position. And all the way through to P36. Ty Cuthbert, one of the newer faces in this category. And it'll be interesting to see what he can do as they charge forward. Junior Rotax is underway in 2021. Big defensive move from Dan Ginchard as he goes straight into the first corner, into the lead. And if he is going to be as fast as he has been so far in 2021, none of the other drivers in the field will see which way he went. Here's his teammate, Ewan Charman, trying to get through onto the inside line. In the middle of the hustle as they come out of Inkermans and up towards Ashby, getting very racy in there behind Gardner. Can he get through? No, it's a very defensive move there from, well, I say Gardner, he's actually got Gardner's suit on. It's Ben Foland in the 82. Always very easy to catch us out there by wearing someone else's suit.
Catches us out all the time. The kick-stopping suits.
Proper wheel-to-wheel stuff as Alex Cole was getting in there wheel-to-wheel in the middle of the pack. And the field works its way down through the heel. And look at Dan Ginchard's lead already. He's absolutely disappearing out front.
Look at the marbles on the outside, Jake. I was mentioning that in the previous race. All that discarded rubber on the outside. You don't want to get two wheels on that, because it will slip you straight into the barrier.
Lovely move from Stephen Duncan. He gets the overtaking move there into Christmas, so he's up another place. And that's the move for third position from Linden. Linden gets through there on Charlie Hart. Hart is trying to keep Usakov at bay. Usakov round the outside. There's Ben Foland in front. Charman in behind him. Not for long. You and Charman going to make the move. Thank you, buddy. I'll have that place if you don't mind. Even if you do mind, I'll still have it.
Neo Clark with the fastest lap dictated by in green on the left-hand bar. It's another move for a place in behind our onboard cameraman.
I think that was Alfie Gallagher getting through there into the position. So a nice move there from the 27 as he gets up another place. Dan Ginchard, 7/10 clear already of Neo Clark. Ginchard really has been writing the form book in 2021, not just in Rotax, but in X30 as well, in multiple categories. Oh, contact and a spin. It's Fairbrother. Fairbrother and Pullen have come together. And Gabe Fairbrother is not happy at all there. And oh, the irony of him getting right back onto the circuit. tucked in behind the number 72, Harry Pullen, but Gabe Fairbrother in the Ultimate R, number 3, gets spun around there, and that is not good news for the young man from Chester. He's got to try and fight his way forward as he works through. Oh, nice little tussle here. 53 is in the mix there. That's Ted Bradbury. Right in behind him is Stephen Duncan as they come across the line, still battling away in the top 10. Excellent racecraft in Junior Rotax. Dan Ginchard leading from Neo Clark. Third is now Harry Linden, I do believe. Oh, nice bit up the inside. Is that going to be the move from Ewan Charman? Can't quite get the move done on the 53 of Ted Bradbury. Looks as though our timing screen has had a little bit of a hiccup, unfortunately. So we're just going to continue on regardless. Dan Ginchard, look at that lap time though. 45.9 from Dan Ginchard, the Argenti Motorsport young gun, who is of course in the Argenti Motorsport team under the tutelage of Ron Meadows of the Mercedes-AMG F1 Petronas team, which of course is where Sir Lewis Hamilton plies his trade. And Dan Ginchard looking good for an opportunity. They've just started going into Europe, of course. We've got drivers like Kimi Antonelli and Alex Powell on their books in the international grade. Dan Ginchard is literally waiting for the phone call. When can I go to Europe? When can I go and play in the FIA? Surely it can't be long.
Can't be long. He's out front at the moment with the fastest lap, and I don't see anybody catching him as things stand at the moment. More moves being placed and made in the midfield.
Nice move from Lucas Jex. He gets the move on Ben Folan there. So Ben Folan trying to work his way back into position, but Lucas Jex, a nice overtaking move there in the 86. 45.7 from Dan Ginchard. He's just in charge. Faster. Absolutely in charge of the field here.
He's put another 2/10 on the field in that lap alone, so I can't see anyone catching Ginchard with his pace at the moment. On board again with Ewan Sharman.
Remember in the days when he was in Mike Spencer's awning and they were battling 7 bells out of each other in Honda Cadet, and now look at him, he's just absolutely storming away in Junior Rotax. Ewan Sharman, his teammate, in the middle of the battle. Did he get the move done there on Bradbury? Looked like he was sizing up a move. Didn't quite see whether it ended Sharman's way or not. But Dan Ginchard is out in front. Unfortunately, our timing screen has seized a little bit. We will get it back together again very soon indeed. I know the boys are working on it steadily. There is the 81 though in second place. Neo Clark still trying to stay with. Charlie Hart there in third position. As they come through again. Some good battles. I think Neo Clark has just tried to get in another fastest lap. Hasn't quite got the speed on Ginchard today. But Charlie Hart is just trying to hang on to third position. Look how wide they come out of the heel. You get so sideways, and this corner has taken its scalps over the years. It's one of the toughest corners in European karting, never mind in British.
It has, but if you notice, they've put a rumble strip on the outside of that corner, and they're definitely not running as wide as they used to, Jake. They used to go from tarmac to concrete. Used to go straight onto the concrete, brushing the barrier on the outside. Now they're not going anywhere near as wide, and I'm assuming that's because they already know that that will cost them time.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I've seen all sorts of incidents on that final bend over the years, and lots of suggestions have been made for it, whether they put tyres on the outside,
to be fair to the circuit, it looks like they've got a solution and it's working.
Yeah, it's really, really good to see, and it looks like the debate is finally over as to what they do with the final corner, because they have done it right. Here is the move. Coming potentially from Charlie Hart, because he's got the fastest lap. The timing screen's reset itself, that's good. So Charlie Hart now with the fastest lap, a 45.4 to try and get himself back into the hunt. Coming towards us, the duel, very strong up the inside. Nice move again from the 83, that's Sophie Kinghorn for the Canon Motorsport team. She gets the move, so good work from Sophie. And now she's trying to get further up the order. Great to see such a competitive field in Junior Rotax, despite the big lead that Ginchard pulled away initially. Clark and Hart are now starting to work together to match his pace. They haven't quite let him dominate the race. He still has a decent gap. This could just be Ginchard just saving his tyres, of course. It's a long race. Still another 6 minutes left on the clock. So you just got to edge your way through. You've got to be careful about how fast you gung-ho and push around the circuit. But Ginchard has the measure of this kart on this circuit out in front. Clark and Hart, Usakov, Linden, Bradbury, Duncan, Sharman, Gallagher and Nathan Smith in the top 10. It's a brilliant racecraft so far from the drivers. This is the battle way down the order between Leishman, Ardolino, McKay, Beaumont and Scrivener. It's amazing race battles. Mitchell is in there as well. This is 25th all the way down to 30th. Look at the scrabble as drivers are trying to find every little piece of tarmac they can, and 2 or 3 of them coming a cropper, not able to keep it on the racetrack for long.
How did the drone pilot spot that was going to happen from all the way back on the straight here? That's where he followed them from. and he went all the way and followed them, two of them straight off.
I reckon that drone's got a mind of its own, you know. It can spot trouble from a mile away. Here is the gaggle for second place, Clark and Hart, and you can see that Charlie Hart really has stepped up the ante again now on Neo Clark to try and make the overtaking move. But he wants to work with him to close up on Ginchard. He hasn't got his heart set on second place. He wants to win, but this man, Dan Ginchard, who is on the verge of stepping up to senior, he's not far away from it now. He's got to obviously try and work with his teammate Neo Clark to catch up with him, but Ginchard absolutely metronomic out front. His pace is just awesome.
The highlighted name on the left side of the screen, Charlie Hart, that shows that he's got the fastest lap, but nobody's catching Ginchard, Jake, because even if Hart makes a move on Clark, that's just going to slow them down. They're not going to get any closer to him unless they work together, and there's just not enough time now. So I don't see anyone catching Ginchard at this stage of the race with 4 minutes remaining.
So Ginchard working hard at the front of the field with the Argenti Motorsport awning in their second season of karting competition. And let's not forget they also have a British F4 team. So might not be too long before Ginchard is already thinking about single-seaters and that immortal climb up the ladder to Formula One. And he already comes from a great motorsport heritage. The Ginchards, of course, have been superstars in the world of Brisker Formula One and stock car racing for many a year. Ginchard himself, Dan, is the only one who really has the opportunity and the potential to climb all the way to Formula One. And certainly here in the Ultimate Karting Championship, there are plenty of racers in this Junior Rotax field alone that could make it all the way to Grand Prix. Here is the battle between Usakov, Linden and Bradbury, having a terrific scrap for fourth position. And Gustav Usakov, let's not forget, he has rebounded splendidly since his season-ending crash at the end of last year's UKC competition at Three Sisters. We saw it at the beginning of the programme as he barrel rolled out of the final turn. Oh, look at this squabble. This is a good one. 45 and 31, very close together. Angus Scrivener losing out to Sam Ardolino. This battle just will not cease. A big lunge on the inside from Harry Pullen as he fights to get himself back into contention after his earlier incident with Fairbrother. Squeezing to the inside. He deals there nicely with Alex Duncan and holds on.
We were talking about Usakov's there, Jake, that crash we saw at the beginning of the programme, of course, and that is a crash that tests your character when you come back the next time in karting. I remember it happens to my son, got flipped over. Next time he came out, he went 4 wide down the inside, 2 wheels on the grass, so I knew that it had not affected him at all. But Usakov's is made of strong stuff, and it's clearly not affected him at all. He's right at the front end of the grids he's been racing in, leading up to this championship through the winter and the early part of the summer. And Usakov's there in fourth. That's a great effort straight out of Honda Cadet.
Certainly is. There's a Disney movie somewhere where there's a quote that says, "There is nothing to fear but fear itself." Gustav Usakov clearly has absolutely no fear as he pushes right up into the top 6 in his first Junior Rotax UKC event of 2021. Ginchard 1.8 now clear of Clark and Hart, who are still trying their best to work in unison to get this battle won and to close in on the race leader. Usakov, Linden and Bradbury very much on their own as they battle over fourth position, but they're not quite close enough to each other for a bit of badinage. This man out in front though, Dan Ginchard, he's just controlled the pace throughout, and that new racing helmet of his, the gold and red that he's got for the 2021 season, you're going to be seeing that a hell of a lot at the front of the field in this season.
Usakov's getting closer in fourth place. How long left? Minute 10. Probably not close enough to make a move for the podium.
There's Ty Cuthbert, one of the new recruits to the Ultimate Karting Championship in 2021, has got one of the biggest social media followings amongst the British karters.
Massive.
Absolutely amazing what he does, and if he's not careful with the stuff he's doing on social media, with the commentary and the presenting and things, he's going to put us out of work if we're not careful. Can you imagine if we put Kai Bacchini and young Ty Cuthbert in these boxes? We'd be out of work without a shadow of a doubt. There's Dan Ginchard, still controlling the pace. It's up to 2 seconds now. That is the equivalent of half a minute in karting. Absolutely massive as we come up towards back markers, Dan Ginchard. Absolutely metronomic and storming away out in front. Hasn't put a wheel wrong in this final. He gets past Ty Cuthbert, who is obviously in his first Junior Rotax event. Dan Ginchard approaching one of his last weekends in Junior Rotax, of course, when you take everything into account. But he has made it very clear this season. He wants to dominate every single competition. He's got a chance to win the British several times over. He's got a chance to win in UKC. He wants to clean up in 2021. He wants to be the figurehead, the pin-up of karting in this country.
Talking of pin-ups, Ted Bradbury had the fastest lap before Gustav Usakovs has just taken it now. Usakovs in 4th place with the fastest lap. I don't think he's close enough to make the move for the podium.
Oh, 43.
Into the last lap.
Technical flag there for the 43. That's Connor Leishman for the Saltire Motorsport team. What a shame. So Connor Leishman will not make it to the finish after receiving a technical flag. That's going to come back to bite him very hard. But Dan Genshard, I've been watching this kid for a few years now, since his Honda Cadet days. Then he stepped up into the world of X30, was very strong, was very quick there, then went on to Rotax, has won the German Championship last season, did an amazing job out in Europe, and is hoping to get back there in the FIA category as soon as possible. But here in the Ultimate Karting Championship, he is absolutely the man on form, and it's a message sent to the rest of the Junior Rotax field. Catch me if you can. Here comes Dan Ginchard. Domination! Thy name is Ginchard here at Whilton Mill. Absolutely sensational performance. He and the Argeni Motorsport team clean up here in Northamptonshire. Excellent job. Dan Ginchard, your winner of the first round of the championship. Neo Clark in second from Charlie Hart. Gustav Isakov, Ted Bradbury and Harry Linden in the top 6. From Stephen Duncan, Ewan Charman, Nathan Smith and Ben Folan. But Dan Ginchard has sent a warning shot to the opposition. If you want this title, you're going to have to wrestle me to the ground for it.
But once he got out in front, he really didn't look trouble, did he? Daniel Guinchard there, a lights to flag victory for him ahead of Neo Clark. But the two young men who finished in 3rd and 4th really deserve some high praise indeed, both stepping up from younger classes. Charlie Hart, kart number 50, puts himself on the 3rd step of the podium there. And in 4th place, Gustav Usakovs, who stepped up from the Honda Cadets. Let's find out what they had to say at the podium. So Daniel, you must be hugely thrilled. You got yourself in pole for that final there. You got out in front and you stayed there. You've taken the first win of the season.
Yeah, to be honest, it was quite not a calm race, but I kind of managed the gap after the start. I got a really strong start and the guys behind me were really keeping me honest, but I was just trying to keep the gap consistent without making any mistakes.
Well, that's exactly what I was about to say. They really were keeping you honest. You had a lot of concentration because you were leading pretty much from the off. And what's it like when you're doing that many laps out in front? How do you keep your head?
You just have to sort of remember what you're doing. You know, you have to remember the lines, make sure you're not pushing too hard to kill the tyre, especially in a long race like that.
And just a word about Charlie Hart in 3rd there, kart number 50. He's only stepped up to the class this year. He's going to be a contender for you, chasing you this year, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. I always love a bit of competition.
All right, well, best of luck. We'll see you at the next round.
Thank you.
Championship points not taken into account. There may be a bonus point added for the fastest lap. That will update as the season goes on, but it's Ginchard that leads it by 10 points. Handy lead from Neo Clark. Charlie Hart there in 3rd from Lyndon Usakovs, Duncan Bradbury, Smith Folland and Ewan Sharman rounding out the top 10.
Don't go anywhere because we're back with more opening round action here at Whilton Mill for the Ultimate Karting Championship.